Well, Sads, what have motivational levels been like this week? You've had a week on the training pitch, which I suppose at the back end of the season is quite a good thing as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's been a really, really positive week. The lads have really bought into everything me and Richard have put out to them, and I think they've enjoyed it. That freshness of different voices maybe has helped that, but it's been really bright, really good tempos of things, and there's been a lot of detail that we tried to put into them, so it's been a really positive week.
As a new coach into it, taking charge of everything, I suppose having a week to put your own ideas across has been beneficial to you as well as the lads as well.
Yeah, hopefully that's been the plan. I think it's been a lot more organised in terms of the back end of last week was obviously chaotic for many different reasons, but it's been good to just be able to organise the week properly, get the detail that we want out of the week. Training has been really bright, sharp. In the days we've been in the Monday, Tuesday session were great. Thursday session really spot on. Then we go into another tactical session today. So good. Been a really positive week. Lads have all bought into it. So I just keep alluding to those positives. It's been great to be able to bounce stuff off Richard throughout the week, and we've been a good foil for each other. So all good. Really positive week.
I was going to say, you mentioned the importance of bringing Richard in last week. What's he been like to work with?
Yeah, everything you expect. Obviously, I work for Richard as a player, and that positivity that he gives across in terms of his message, the words that he says. There's never a missed word with Richard. It's always with an intention behind it, always with a purpose. More often than not, it's in a positive vein. So I keep repeating the same word, but that is how it has been this week. Everything geared towards the weekend, there's been some just really good work from the lads.
I was going to say, you mentioned that one key word for you, and you mentioned it to myself and Paul off camera as well. It's remaining positive, isn't it? And trying to find everything that you can tap into around that word as well.
Yeah, I mean, naturally, when there's an upheaval as there has been, it's an opportunity. It's an opportunity for other people. It's an opportunity for myself to lay things out how I would like it to be laid down. And then within all of that, it breeds that little bit of a freshness to the place. And that's how it's felt. Different voices add to that as well. So I think I go back to it. We've done things slightly differently this week to how it has been. Which then provokes that little bit more of a different response from the players for sure, with that goal of okay, it's all coming together for the weekend. So everything's been structured, everything's been organised for that, and we're looking forward to the challenge of Saturday.
You're going to Saturday. They're still technically fighting for something, albeit 6 points above Hartlepool, but they're still fighting for their League 2 safety. But we go there full of confidence from last week's game, despite the result.
Yeah, for sure. There were plenty of moments in the game which I've been able to reflect back on this week in the messages to the boys. I think the attitude they showed in terms of never wanting to be beat, wanting to always put themselves on that front foot. They had a real strong mentality to get back into the game when we've gone behind. And it's a case of utilising how gutted we were at the end of it and that emotion. And there was a real outpouring of emotion afterwards in terms of how gutted we were to have conceded that late goal. I've got the point across that those emotions are wasted ones if we then don't back that up and go again and put that to kind of good use, those tough moments that there were after the game on Saturday. So and we go into it against the Crawley side who when we played them at our place earlier in the season, for 20 minutes I thought they were really bright, really good going forward. Some real attacking intent players, and it's the same now. They attack with numbers. They're really positive, really front foot, especially at home. And we have to be right on our mettle to make sure we're aware of that, to make sure that there are no surprises, and then impose our game on it. But it'd be a really good test.
I was going to say, what are you expecting from them? They'll obviously be buoyed by that result last week. I think it was a 2-0 win over Hartlepool. So what are you expecting from them?
Everything from that game, everything from the games I've watched previous, all action. Scott's got them playing with real intensity, real dynamism in forward areas especially, and they've got some really good attacking players, and as I say, Scott's got them playing right on the front foot, and for me they don't look like watched 5-6 games of theirs now. They're not a team, in my opinion, that should be fighting at that end of the table with the way that they're playing at the moment. So it would be a really tough game for us. And they'll be galvanised by that result, and it's up to us to impose ourselves on that game, weather storms when storms will come, for sure. Be together. That's the main message of last week. It goes into this week's message as well. We have to be together, and we have to ride some of those moments out together and then impose our game on it.